Hi there. I hope all is well with you in whichever part of the world you find yourself. I'm going to commence my little presentation with a question that may strike you as being rather mawkishly obvious, but I'll ask it nevertheless. Namely, the question is as follows: what makes for a good formula? Well, begin with the obvious answer, namely that a formula is one that gets the answer right. But that's obviously true. But those of you who are experienced with the workings of spreadsheets are well aware of the fact that there are very often multiple formulaic means toward the same solution. In that regard, I had posed myself a little problem some time ago, namely that I wanted to sort a collection of names of a hypothetical staff here, but the boss, Heidi, must find her name sorted on top. You know Heidi, she's very prickly about these sort of things. That is to say, to repeat, we want to sort this list of names, but to see to it that Heidi, who's obviously would be sorted under conventional terms somewhere in the middle of the list, nevertheless, her name must appear on top. So I tried my hand at a number of different solutions, and bottom line, it's not absolutely clear as to which of the formulas that I devised is the preferable one. Of course, the general rule is that the briefer the formula, that is to say, the more elegant or economical, the more preferable, all other things being equal, which is itself an important qualification. After all, if a formula is brief and parsimonious, but it's difficult to understand, it's mysterious or cryptic, then other individuals may find it a bit difficult to understand. And even in retrospect, it may be difficult for the author to understand. Okay, but that's one of the variables that's tossed into the equation. All right, so let me just offer a few takes on the problem. Remember, the plan is to sort this list of names with Heidi on top. Okay, so all right, here's one approach, namely uh, a sort, in the final analysis. After all, we are sorting, but in this case, the name Heidi has been concatenated with an empty space. Space plus or ampersand Heidi, yielding a name which then, when subjected to the sort, would see to it that Heidi appears on top, because given Excel's default sorting priority, a blank space will get sorted before other significant characters, and as a consequence, Heidi appears on top. The other names are duly sorted in alphabetical order. Moreover, to complete the formula, Heidi's space is winnowed out via the trim function, which is wrapped around the entire expression, and there's your result. Result number one, and it's a pretty cute formula, but it consists of 48 characters. All right, having essayed the length of the formula text. Take number two looks like this. In this case, I've in effect merged two collections of data, namely the names of staff, in conjunction with the name Heidi alone, which was V-stacked atop the larger list, which means, among other things, that Heidi's name would appear twice, because after all, she appears in the master list, in addition to the single entry, Heidi, consisting of a mini data set in its own right, and these two would V-stacked, and we proceeded to sort them with the obvious outcome that Heidi's name would appear somewhere in the list twice, because she's V-stacked, Heidi appears on top, but her name would appear elsewhere, and as a consequence, I wrap the unique function around the formula, again, pairing, that is P-A-R-I-N-G, eliminating one instance of Heidi, and the deed is done. And in this case, the formula consists of 36 characters, significantly shorter. I'm not always crazy about VStack. It's really just a kind of a makeshift means of fusing two different data sets, but it works here. And once again, it seems to have accomplished the task. Just another formula to juxtapose to the other one. And finally, and this was a solution that I would have hoped to avoid, but here we're sorting the names in question with a helper column, which, as a rule in this day and age, is in the domain and the day of dynamic array formulas is a solution that can often be avoided. But just for the sake of illustration, I placed an X next to Heidi's name. There is no other supplementary character alongside any other name. And this formula here, sort by, has the effect of sorting, in the first instance, by of course, the staff data by the column containing the X, and it contains nothing but the X. All right, so by default, Heidi's name would again appear on top. And then, because as a consequence, if we take the formula only that far, the other names would not have been sorted. So we're sorting secondarily by the data set itself, and has the consequence of sorting all the names properly with Heidi once again on top. The total character count of the formula in question, 31. In that respect, by far the most efficient, but it incorporates a helper column. So there, ladies and gentlemen, is a question of trade-off. You want to call upon a helper column, which is a bit of an older solution, but one that yields the briefest formula. A few things to think about, and thank you for your listening, and have fun with your formulas.